Hi, my name's Roger Jenkins. I'm your storyteller for World Storytelling Day 2015, and I'm telling you this story from my home here in Singapore, where it's a lovely sunny morning, as is often the case here in Singapore, one of the joys of living just 1 degree north of the equator. But the story that I'm going to tell for you comes from far, far away, at least far away from where I am here in Singapore. It comes from Ireland. And it's about a young man who I shall call Patrick. Now, Patrick, he worked on a very large estate, and his job was to protect the animals from the poachers, because unfortunately there were a lot of people trying to poach the animals. Now, the very morning that my story begins, it must have been 6 o'clock, I would imagine, just as the sun was beginning to rise, and Patrick was making his way home after a busy night protecting the animals. Now, as he was walking home, suddenly he heard a voice call out, "Help! Save me! Save me!" Patrick looked around to see if he could see who was in trouble. But to his surprise, he could see no one. Thinking perhaps that he'd been dreaming, he made to go on. But no sooner had he raised his foot to go on than the voice called out again, more desperately, "Please, don't leave me! Help! Please save me, sir!" So Patrick looked around once more, and still seeing no one, said, "Where are you? I can't see you. Show yourself." And the voice replied, "I am here, by your feet, underneath the hedge." So Patrick bent down, and sure enough, there, in that small space between the bottom of the hedge and the ground itself, there stood a small man, no taller than that. This was a strange man. He was dressed all in green, from his little top hat, his green suit, all the way down to his little green boots. He was what the Irish call a leprechaun. There you are, leprechaun. Now, this poor man, he was all tangled up in the roots that were dangling down underneath the bush. So Patrick, being a helpful sort of chap, pulled out his penknife and cut the leprechaun free. And then the leprechaun, "Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much," he said. And Patrick picked him up, and the leprechaun said, "Oh, sir, as you've been so kind as to save me, I am going to give you one wish." Patrick said, "A wish? For me?" "Yes, indeed," says the leprechaun, "but only one wish. Now don't you go wishing for more wishes, like a billion, million, gazillion, trillion wishes. No. There's no inflation when we come to wishing. Okay, just one wish. Now, I want you to be thinking very carefully about it. Don't you go wasting it on wishes." We all know the story about the sausages, don't we? Yes. So, you take time, said the leprechaun. You go home, you think about it, and you come back here, same time, same place, tomorrow morning, and I will make your wish come true. Oh, well, Patrick was so excited. Well, wouldn't you be? And if you wanted to, you could stop right this video right this minute, and you could be thinking and have a little talk amongst yourselves about if I was to give you one wish, what would you wish? The lady over there in the blue, what would you be wishing for? Oh, a new house. Well, of course you would. Yes. And you, sir, what would you be wishing for? Oh, a new government. Well, wouldn't we all be wishing for that too? And you? Oh, a trip around the world. Oh, yes, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? What? Oh, a Ferrari. Yeah, a bright red Ferrari. Well, I'm with you there, sir. I'm with you there. Well, with all these choices, Patrick, his mind was spinning. He couldn't think. He couldn't decide. And when he got home, who should be waiting for him but his wife? She said, "Patrick, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. I've been worried about you." And Patrick explained all about saving the leprechaun and how he'd been granted a wish. But he said, it's very difficult. I can't decide at all. And his wife looked at him and said, "Well, Patrick, of course, It's very simple. Huh? It is, said Patrick. Of course, she said. We've been married for 10 years now. Despite all our best efforts, we still have no children. You know, we've always wanted a son. Why don't you wish for a son? And Patrick said, oh, of course. Silly me, a son. Yes, what a wonderful wish. Why didn't I think of that? And his wife looked at him and said, because you're a man. Then she turned back to him and she said, well, why didn't you go inside and see your ma? Your mum's been worried about you. You go inside and speak with her, and I'll go and make you breakfast. So Patrick went into the small little cottage that he rented from his landlord. Now, he saw his mother. She was sat beside the window, and she was looking out the window, waiting for his return. And the moment she heard the door open, she looked up and she said, Patrick, is that you? And Patrick said, yes, it is, Ma. And he came and he knelt beside her and he raised her hand and he put it to his cheek. Because his mother was blind. She couldn't see a thing. Where were you, son? She said. I was worried about you. And Patrick told her all about the leprechaun and how he'd been given one wish. Oh, she said. Oh, one wish. Oh, my dear boy, she said. Please wish that I could see again. Oh, I'd love to see you one more time before I pass away. I'd love to see your lovely wife, who's been looking after me for all these 10 years. Please, son, she said, wish that I could see again. Patrick said, oh, that's a very good wish, Ma. Well, of course it's a good wish, said his mother, and I hope you'll wish it. So Patrick said, of course, Ma. And he looked out of the window, and at that moment he saw his father bent almost double under a great pile of sticks, firewood, that he'd been gathering and was now carrying across the yard. Oh, Ma, he said, I got to go out and help me dad. And Patrick went outside and helped his father, took the big heavy load of sticks off his back. Where have you been? Said the old man rather grumpily. You took your time getting back, didn't you? And Patrick explained to him all about the leprechaun and all about the one wish. And his father said, oh, one wish. Oh, he said, it's simple, he said. You've got to wish for money and lots of it. Really? Said Patrick. Of course, said his father. Wish for money. He said, I'm getting old. I'm not going to be able to help you carrying this firewood for much longer. And your mother, she's old. There's going to be hospital bills to pay. And look at this house, he said, that you live in. It's so small, it's not even yours. You're paying rent. If you wish for money, then all your problems will be solved. Poor Patrick. One wish, and yet the three most important people in his life had such different ideas about what he should do. If it was you, what would you wish for? Maybe we should just have a quick show of hands here. All those of you who, like his wife, would wish for a child. Can I put your hands up? Let me have a look. Oh dear. No wonder you've got such a problem with regeneration. You're not having enough babies, are you? We've got the same problem here in Singapore. Well, okay. How many of you would wish that your mother could see? Oh, what a lovely daughter you are. I think you should go home, tell your mother now that what you would use your wish for. Oh, she'll be so pleased. And how many would wish for money? Oh, my goodness me, so many. There must be a lot of Singaporeans there. Oh, you like money in the Netherlands too, do you? Well now, all that day, Patrick was going up and down and his mind was racing. He was trying to think, what could he do? That night, he couldn't sleep. He was tossing and turning, tossing and turning, tossing and turning. He just didn't know what to do. But he didn't want to disturb his wife, so he got up. He walked out of the house. He stood on the porch outside the cottage and He looked up. It was a beautiful starlit night. The stars were all shining in their glory as his mind in its turbulence was racing. When suddenly Patrick looked up and he saw a shooting star, and it seemed to go across the sky, going from one star to another, to another, to another, to another, before it disappeared and burned out in the darkness. And as he watched that star for the first time since that morning meeting with the leprechaun, Patrick smiled. And in the morning, he went back to that very self-same place, self-same time, and who should he meet but the leprechaun? And the leprechaun said, "Well, Patrick, have you made your wish? Do you know what it is you want?" And Patrick said, "Yes, I do." "Well," said the leprechaun, "tell me your wish. Tell me your wish." And Patrick said, "I wish that my mother could see." "Oh," said the leprechaun, "that's a lovely wish. Your mother's blind, is she? Oh, that's so good. You're a good son, you are. Yes, indeed. She will be so happy." And Patrick said, "Excuse me," he said, "I haven't finished." "Oh," said the leprechaun, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm so sorry." He said, "Please, go on. Tell me your wish." And Patrick said, "I wish that my mother could see my wife holding our newborn baby son." And the leprechaun said, "Oh, a newborn son, oh, that's a good wish indeed. Yes, yes, Patrick, my boy," he said, "that's a very good wish." And Patrick said, "Excuse me," he said, "I haven't finished." Oh, I'm so sorry," said the leprechaun. "Please, we didn't mean to interrupt. Silly me," he said. "Please, go on, go on, go on. Do tell me your wish." And Patrick said, "I wish that my mother could see my wife holding our newborn baby son as she lays him down to sleep in a bed made from solid 99.99% gold." And the leprechaun said, "Oh, that is a very good wish." He said, "You go back home to your lovely wife and your mother, and I promise you," he said, "that your wish will come to pass." And that's how it was with the one wish that Patrick made all the people in his life really happy. So I would say to you, when you get yourself a wish, if ever that should happen to you, do make sure that you take time, take care, and think very carefully. For, as the Irish say, may your troubles be less, may your blessings be more, and may nothing but happiness come through your door. I wish you all a very wonderful World Storytelling Day and all the best of good wishes. Goodbye.